For the first card, this is Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, and Pisces Risings. So, we have the Two of Coins. So this card is about us having to juggle, especially when it comes to financial type of situations, but it's not always financial, but there is definitely a financial aspect here. And this is where we're having to juggle things. Sometimes we can be juggling our work life and then some stresses that we may be dealing with, say, in the home life or in the personal life, things of this nature. But this is where we are basically juggling, But the thing is that you're doing it and you're maintaining yourself. Sometimes we have quite a few irons in the fire under this energy. But for right now, you guys are holding up great. You're able to handle it. And that's good. Now, I would like to definitely let you know that if you are to receive some disappointing type of news, don't let it cause you to lose your balance, so to speak, because we got to keep juggling these coins, So any type of disappointing news you might hear, just don't let it knock you out of balance, because it won't be that bad. It can sound worse than what it is. Okay, so we clarify, and we have the High Priestess in the reverse position. So this is a Pisces card. Now, when we have the Priestess in reverse, this is us not listening to our higher mind, not listening to our gut feeling. There's also a bit of mystery when we have this card in the reverse position. So there could be a bit of a mysterious type of feel to a certain situation in your life, or maybe regarding a certain person that's in your life. You might be trying to figure them out, and then it becomes like a bit of a puzzle where it's one piece at a time. Now, ultimately, we really need to go within and listen to that higher voice, that higher mind, our intuition, our intuitive knowing. Sometimes when we have this card in the reverse position, we may decide to turn that switch off. Sometimes we turn that switch off because we don't like what we're essentially hearing from our higher mind, our inner voice. Maybe we don't want to see a situation or a person for what it really is, and so we may be trying to avoid it. But we really need to turn that switch back on and listen, because any question you ever may have, the answers are always within you. We just have to silence the mind, go within and meditate, just still the mind and listen to what comes in, because we can always have the answers we seek. Okay, so this would be circumstances. Now we have the Star. What a beautiful card. So this is a card of inspiration. This is a card of hope. This is a card of a wish come true. So this is an absolutely wonderful card. This is also a card of good health. So I absolutely love this card. So perhaps for some of you, you might be feeling hopeful. Maybe some of you are hoping to have a wish of yours come true. This is also a card of having creative talents and abilities. So very positive. Okay, so we clarify. We have Four of Cups. So this can indicate that perhaps maybe we've hit a point in our life where we might be feeling a bit dissatisfied with our life or a situation, probably a relationship type of situation. Could be a romantic relationship, could be a platonic relationship. Now, a lot of times this is a card of reflecting, and we're reflecting on our emotions and what we've been through. Now with this card, there's a tendency to be focused on this self and what we're going through. Because as you see, a cup is being offered to this young man. And he's looking at it and he's like, yeah, I'd love to grab that cup. But body language, people. Look at the body language. He's just too leery. He's like, I don't know if I should. So maybe some of you could actually be thinking in the same way. Like, should I even try going after this wish? Should I even try being hopeful? So the answer is yes, you should. But, we all have our free will. And you got to do what's best for you. Now, typically when I see this cup, there's always an opportunity that can be presented, but we have to be paying attention. And if we're too focused on the self, and if we're isolating ourselves too much, then we may not get the opportunity, especially if we're isolating ourselves too much. So, while it's okay to have those moments, let's just try to make sure that we don't get stuck in isolation, because we could miss some really good opportunity, and this opportunity could be one that could make you very hopeful, that could make you feel like you have a wish come true. Okay, so this would be the focus. So we have the Three of Wands in the reverse position. So a lot of times with this card is about our resources. As you see, there are ships coming in the background. But when this card is in the reverse position, these ships are coming in with inadequate cargo, inadequate resources. So inadequate information could be a possibility as well. But more times than not, I definitely look at this as inadequate resources. So there may be some issues with the finances, or maybe you don't have enough information regarding maybe a job opportunity that you might have had, or this could be a project of yours. It could be a creative project. It could even be a business project. This could even be a business partnership. Now, a lot of times with this card in the reverse, we end up experiencing delays. And we really need to take a step back and look at things from, a more objective point of view. We need to, review our plan and revise it, because we're not going to be able to make our plan work as it currently sits. But if we go in and we revise the right things, we could have this card turned to the upright position in no time. Now, sometimes with this card, we can be scattering our energy by focusing, say, on 2 or 3 trees when there's actually a whole entire forest. So we don't want to get lost in the details, so to speak. And we definitely want to avoid any type of overconfidence. We don't want to be overly confident. That can definitely bite us in our rear. Pride is another one. So, yeah, definitely don't be too prideful, because things can happen. The Three of Wands in reverse can also indicate a lack of foresight. So it's like we didn't foresee these difficulties coming. So therefore we didn't plan for them. So we didn't accommodate for them. And this is why I say we really need to take a step back and review all of the details, and let's see what could potentially be causing an issue that's preventing things from working out. Now, sometimes this can indicate that if you have a partnership with someone in regards to a financial type of project or even a creative one, you might feel like it is more one-sided. Maybe you feel like you might be doing more of the work and maybe the other person isn't doing as much, or they could be looking at you that way. But overall, this can cause frustrations and delays. This is also a card of traveling. So this travel would go across water, whether we're going over a bridge or in an airplane or even a boat, so. And sometimes this can be working around boats or working around the water. Pisces, so the fish. So, it makes sense. So we clarify, and we have the Queen of Coins. So the Queen of Coins, she is a nurturer. She's a family woman. She is also a very successful businesswoman. And she is definitely upright in her financial dealings. So this is a woman that you can definitely trust. So if this happens to be someone that you are in a partnership with, then they are definitely someone of good character. They're not out to do you wrong, okay? Now, it could be someone you're dealing with, could be male, could be female, could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or this could just be the overall energy. Or perhaps this could be you guys channeling this queen's energy. This queen, she really is about helping other people. She loves to help people learn how to make money. She's got no problem in teaching and helping. And she loves to step back and be behind the scenes. And she likes to watch as people grow with these newfound skills and abilities and knowledge that she will happily give. Traditionally, I associate this card with Virgo, but again, this could just be energy that you guys are channeling and taking on. Maybe you guys are just absolutely ready for some financial security and stability in your life. Okay, so this would be the position of your recent past. So we have the Hermit. The Hermit's definitely about getting wise advice. Sometimes this is about going within and listening to the higher mind, the wise person within us. Sometimes this is us literally seeking out advice from someone else, and this other person would give good advice. So no matter how the advice came in, since the Hermit is in the upright position, this definitely would indicate that the advice was good advice. So that is a positive. A lot of times with the Hermit, this can be a card where we can isolate somewhat, go within. Sometimes we're being introspective, reflecting. Sometimes we're even reevaluating our life and how, and what we can do to make things better. But overall, this is about wisdom being received. Oh, that's nice. So I clarify, we have the World. So this is like karmic rewards. This is having attained self-actualization. This is learning all of our lessons, and then we're rewarded. So, yeah, this definitely seems like you guys were definitely rewarded, and you were definitely given this sage advice. This card is also ruled by Virgo, so for some of you, this could definitely be someone with Virgo energy. Very possible. The world is Saturn, so we could say Capricorn, so we're still in the earth element. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, so this would be the present, the here, and the now energy. We have the Wheel of Fortune, so this is great. So this definitely indicates that luck is turning in our favor. Not that, we have extreme good luck. For some of us, we might be lucky. We might get a lucky windfall. But in general, this card is about things become a little bit easier. We don't have to work as hard as we normally would to get something. We still have to work hard, but it's like things come together better for us. So the Wheel of Fortune is definitely in your guys' favor. So this is definitely a positive. And plus, anytime I see the major arcana cards, these things are all faded. I look at the major arcana as the ones that are faded, and the minor arcana, these are the ones that are more our free will. Okay, so all right, so I clarify, and we have the Fool in the reversed position. So this is like still having a great desire for a new start, to go in a new direction, to go after something new, taking that leap of faith, gambling. But we really need to be careful. We need to be mindful of the things that we say or do. Under this type of energy, we see the rebellious side. This card is ruled by Uranus, so we have a tendency to see the rebellious side come out, and one could even say the impulsive side. So sometimes we may speak without thinking, on impulse, and sometimes we can say something that could be potentially very hurtful to another. Sometimes under this energy, we might act in a thoughtless way, and you may not even mean to. But this type of energy is just very excitable. And there is the whole rebelliousness part, and then there's this underlying need of, I want my freedom. I want my freedom to do what I want, when I want, where I want, And that's great. I totally get it, but we have to make sure that the way that we get there is, the right way, by not hurting people, which most of the time I only have to say. But, not every Pisces sun, moon, and rising is exactly the same. So for those of you who need that message, you'll receive it. Okay, so now that doesn't mean that your start, your new start, your new direction is completely doomed. We see, even though that this is still more faded, we still have free will. So we can simply modify our behavior, and we can say, hey, I'm going to think about what I say before I say it. I'm going to think about what I do before I do it. I'm not going to be impulsive. And if we follow through on that, then in no time we can have this Fool back up to the upright position, and then this makes our new direction a lot easier. But again, this doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just means we need to be careful. We need to be aware that with this new start, that there will probably, most likely, be delays, okay? And so that can be frustrating, of course. You just don't want it to We don't want it to, make you feel super rebellious. We need to be calm. We need to have faith. Faith, faith, faith. The Fool card is about childlike innocence. It's a new start. We have a clean slate. We've paid our karmic dues. We get our new start. We just need to be careful. We need to expect the unexpected, because that is Uranus. Expect the unexpected, but be prepared for it. And just know that we need to be careful about how we say things and be careful of what we do, But to each his own. I just always say, follow your gut and do what you feel is what's best for you. That's all we can do.